9 smaller quality of life changes coming in 12.1. Quality of life improvements and everything else. Let's get into this one. I know a lot of these quality of life improvements. I probably already went through them, some of them in the WoW news segments that I typically do, but there's always these extra ones that I miss and things that I didn't even realize were coming in the patch. And I think a lot of people don't realize there are actually a lot of quality of life changes coming in 12.1. So let's go ahead and dive into this one from Dalaran Gaming. Here we go.
Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and WoW Patch 12.1 seasonal update drops next week, bringing with it massive new changes from a new raid, fresh new set of dungeons, seasonal class updates, and a ton of new rewards for players to grind for. But in the sea of so many seasonal changes, Blizzard is also dropping in 9 really good quality of life updates that are going to actually make an impact of how you play the game and make the game much more enjoyable. Some of you are probably going to notice these as soon as you log in, while others are a little bit more hidden out of the way that you'll still be thinking Blizzard added them later. For today's video, I wanted to really focus on those 9 quality of life smaller improvements that are going to make Midnight as an expansion just a little bit more enjoyable.
All right, let's do it.
With that being said, as always, if you guys want to see more regular videos from Midnight as an expansion, especially when it comes to its seasonal content update of patch 12.1, be sure to follow the channel and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to take a look at are the quality of life updates. Players will notice pretty much immediately as soon as they log in for the new update. And if you're a hunter, then you'll notice that your bow and other ranged weapons can actually be customized a little bit more. Normally, bows and ranged weapons are just limited in terms of what customization they have, specifically when it comes to
put enchants on them.
You can't really give them that extra flavor, extra flair like some of the other classes. But in the patch 12.1, you finally will be able to.
Wow.
You will be able to finally apply enchants as like transmogrified of chance.
I remember reading this in a Wowhead article, and I had no idea that bows were not like visually enchantable until now. I really didn't even know this was a thing. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, you can't enchant for mugs. I had no idea.
Onto your weapon. So all those
enchants that
you've been collecting this entire time, whether you're talking about PvP
wow, some of these look really cool.
One's from raids, one from dungeons, a variety of other content that will now finally show up on your ranged weapons. So this is going to be applicable for all types, whether we talk about crossbows, whether we talk about guns, whether we talk about bows. All of the enchants are finally going to function. So hunters will be able to uniquely have a little bit extra customization that they previously couldn't before. Especially with the new Venom Coil enchant that's going to be coming out too. That thing looks incredible. So now you'll be able to also partake in some of those unique rewards, which were previously pretty much only available to basically everybody else outside of hunters. I guess there's also druids because they are in cat form and bear form, so they don't get to see their enchants either. But hunters will finally get to join the community of players that can finally see the enchants on their weapons. There's a pretty good chance when you first log in, you are going to be opening up the map to figure out what is going on in terms of new content and where you have to go.
Yeah, this I've had a problem with for a while, and I keep saying it, man. There's just too many damn icons on the map now. I could probably filter some out through whatever filter system Blizzard has. I think it's up here or something. But there's just like all these old-ass quests just sitting all over my map, especially in Silvermoon. And I get lost. I don't know what the hell I'm doing half the time anymore. When I open this thing, I'm like, wait, which quest line am I on again?
Where all the new quests are, and you'll notice at the bottom left there's now a cursor as well as a player coordinates. Now coordinates isn't something that's necessarily necessary for every single player out there, but a lot of the WoW information from databases like Wowhead for instance, but also a variety of different add-ons rely on coordinates pretty heavily.
I was actually mind blown when I saw this being added to the game, and I was like, wait a minute, I forgot this was an add-on this entire time. I honestly thought coordinates had been added to the game, like back in Burning Crusade or something. We've been all using coordinates like for Thoughtbot and questing and everything for so long that I didn't even realize coordinates weren't in the game. So this is the new coordinate system. A very nice add, finally.
That additional information, and normally we need to have an add-on to add coordinates. Now coordinates are displayed natively no matter where you are. So no matter what zone you're going to, no matter what you're looking at, whether you're looking at the new zones, other areas inside of dungeons, there's always going to be your cursor coordinates. So now if, let's say, you found some sort of a secret somewhere in a very specific instance, dungeon or raid, and you want to share it with other players exactly what that secret is, you can now tell them the instance and the coordinates, and they'll be able to, with the cursor, figure out more or less where these items are. It's just a little bit more information that players felt like was needed in the game for a very long time, and now you'll be able to have it available to you at all times as a simply integrated baseline into your map. Of course, with the brand new season, we also got a bunch of currencies, and they actually restructured how these currencies now look like. They've basically ended up cleaning them up as best as they can to make sure all of your normal currencies that you're going to be using for everyday use are available, but all the seasonal currencies for very specific uses are now going to be made into a separate category, so it's easier to manage them. So you have
nice. This is great. I had no idea they were doing this, but this is definitely a necessary change too, because it's like currencies. I mean, we make the joke every single patch we get like 3 or 4 more currencies. I've made the comment that the guy who draws the new currencies, he's the busiest guy at all of Blizzard HQ. No doubt. This man has to draw 5 to 6 new currencies on every freaking patch. It's crazy. Is this Season 2? Yeah, this is all Season 2, 12.1 quality of life changes in this video right now.
Your zone currencies. If you do any of the zone content, you can open them up, or if you don't need to, you can just put them away. Everything that is Season 2 related, with all your quests and things, or rather,
this at least
quests on a separate one, for like all your mana flags for your tier pieces, you can maintain those. Any of the unique features, like Anguish, which is from Prey, Field Accolades from Open World content, Illusionary Currents from Deckard Nodes, which is going away soon, are going to be separate. Delves has their own, and Crests have their own, so maintaining all of these things and managing them, at the very least within the expansion of Midnight, is getting a little bit easier, as they're just simply categorizing them and allowing them to show you all the currencies, or close some of them up if you're looking to organize things a little bit better. Now, Blizzard also found a way to make the Silvermoon as a city even more convenient than ever before. Previously, you would have to go to various other zones or places in order to be able to collect certain items that could have easily been put in Silvermoon, and now they actually took the step in this patch to actually put them in Silvermoon. For example, if you're raiding and you got a Curio essentially can be any one of the tier set items, and players are going to be going after them immediately as soon as the new season launches. Because of, let's say you have a helmet, a shoulder, and a chest piece, but you're missing like the gloves or the pants, that Curio can be the gloves or the pants at the vendor. Normally, this vendor is in some random obscene location, but now they actually decided to put that exotic vendor in Silvermoon directly, right next to the catalyst. So all of your gear,
that's the perfect spot. Good.
Things and all the other items you're going to be going after, it's all in one location, allowing you to easily access all these items whenever you need it. The same thing goes for your gear upgrade system. We are going to be getting the upgrade Void Forge system in Season 2, and that's going to be made available pretty much from the get-go. You'll be able to upgrade your trinkets, your weapons, and now your necklace slots in order to make him even stronger than previously, in order to make him even more powerful throughout the season.
This is nice, so we don't have to go to freaking Void Storm or whatever the fuck it's called anymore. That was kind of annoying too, because you had to freaking go through the portal over there and then fly over to him. That's good. Dreadmore, thank you for the follow. Welcome to our Scourge. So now all this stuff is basically around the lava mount, the little lava area in Silvermoon, where you currently upgrade your gear, or convert your gear in the catalyst. So everything's around the catalyst now. This is a good change.
And they moved the Void Forge right in Silvermoon, so you no longer have to go all the way out to Voidstorm just to be able to do so, making Silvermoon as a city even better.
What if I can't find the catalyst? Yeah.
Now, after you get your bearings out of the way,
some people can't be helped. I don't know, if you can't find the catalyst, there's issues. I only use the Horde catalyst. Is there a Horde catalyst? Wait, you go back to Orgrimmar or something? Can you use old catalysts with new catalyst currencies? I didn't even realize that.
There's a good chance you're going to be delving into raids, delves, and dungeons.
What's
to
up,
do some
Sergeant?
early gearing once
I don't know yet.
Is finally here. While doing the content, especially when you're doing some of the older Mythic Zero dungeons for items, you'll notice a lot of the enemy frontal attacks, or cone attacks, will now be much easier to see thanks to new clear outlines that they have where enemies are going to strike. This is a huge improvement to the clarity that players needed when it comes to endgame mechanics, where now you no longer have to guess whether you are actually in frontal of an enemy attack, or if you just read outside, like, do you need to move more, or are you good? Some players can never really tell.
This is probably my favorite thing that's happening.
Players inadvertently get wiped out by the mechanics when they think that they're actually safe. In some cases, they actually are so unclear where it looks like you're safe, you aren't, and that can definitely lead to frustrations, so creating more clarity for various different endgame mechanics is a good change going forward.
Yes.
Now, there's also been other improvements to the ping system as well.
He didn't even mention it, but I think one of the most important things about this new frontal cone system and line system. I'll show you guys real quick because this matters to me a lot. You see right here how this frontal cone is completely filled in. That means it's a stable frontal cone. It's not going to move with the tank or whoever has aggro. But there is another version of this where the solid lines come out, but the center here is clear. There's nothing in it, and that means that it's going to follow the tank or whoever has aggro. Those are two very different abilities that in the current version of WoW, you really can't tell which is which. You either know the ability names, and that's how you know whether or not it's going to follow the tank, or you do like me a lot of times as the tank, you do the little sidestep, and you see if it's going to follow you. And if it follows you, then you're like, oh, okay, I got to stay still and not freaking blast the entire group. Or you sidestep and it doesn't move, and you're like, oh, okay, this is a solid one. Just get out of it. And so those are two big differences, two abilities that have always kind of looked the same in WoW, and you never knew which one was which. Now you're going to know based on the basically the look of how the ability's coming out.
Yeah. Now, there's also been other improvements to the ping system as well. When you are in a dungeon or a raid or a PvP encounter, being able to communicate effectively with less words without having to actually type on your character can be incredibly helpful. So now you can actually ping a lot more information to other party members. If, let's say, you need healing, you can now ping your health bar, and that will tell them how much health you have. If you are a healer, that could also tell how much mana you have as well. If, let's say, you used a healing ability and the healer isn't aware that you have nothing available, like you may need some rescuing. If, let's say, the boss targeted you for a mechanic, you can just ping the fact that acceleration is on cooldown. I cannot use it. I don't have a self heal. So now the healer is aware that maybe you'll need a little bit extra help.
Oh, that's
or
pretty
if maybe
cool.
You have some sort of
a realm to destroy.
Malden Brewski, thank you for the follow, and Hostitute, thank you for the follow too. I don't know why you guys are refollow, but this is pretty cool. I didn't know.
Let us lay waste to this realm.
I didn't know that this was showing up as an icon above your head. So when you ping your ability still on cooldown, it shows the actual icon of the ability. That's kind of cool.
Acceleration is on cooldown. I cannot use it. I don't have a self heal. So now the healer is aware that maybe you'll need a little bit extra help. Or if maybe you have some sort of
and it says it in the chat box down here.
You can then ping it to let everybody know, hey, my stun is ready. Now your warrior or your rogue or your mage, whoever you're playing with now can be aware that you are ready to go for a next CC. So now you can follow up with something afterwards.
Very nice.
It just gives you more information to work with. And also the ping system as well has gotten updated as well. Sometimes when you're pinging around on the floor, inadvertently you'll end up pinging on a boss or some sort of a health bar that you didn't mean to. So now you can actually change how the pings function. If, let's say, you are a raid leader and you're looking to ping for places where you want everybody to stack or you want players to move out to, you can now have the pings part.
I highly doubt anyone will actually use that. It depends. It depends. I think there's going to be moments where it'll be good. Probably higher level keys, it'll matter more than, your typical key run. But it's a nice feature that it's in the game now. So yeah, why not?
Prioritize the environment. So even if you're hovering over a health bar, it will always try to ping the floor no matter what. Same thing with the units. If, let's say, you constantly feel like you're just pinging the floor but can never really land it on a unit, you can have it prioritize units instead. So now you can have a little bit more communication and more adjustments of how you utilize the ping system so that you can communicate better in the moment with other players in your raid or party. Next, I want to go over some of the smaller features as part of the 12.1 update. These are not going to be nearly as massive, but there are some nice little conveniences that are going to be appreciated with by some players along the way either way.
What have
been an adjustment to the friends list in the social UI. There are some things that I don't like about it, but I'll get to that in just a second. But the screen itself does look updated, does look refreshed and new with different tabs for your friends, recent allies, quick join, friend requests, and even raid slots. But they also actually give you even more customization than before, allowing you to filter your friends. So for example, let's say a friend of mine called Dracos, let's say they mostly play within raids. I can now give them an interest tag for raiding. So now they're part of that category specifically.
So now you can tag them for different things. So if somebody's just, so someone's just like, somebody that you like to RP with your PP with on Moonguard at night, you can give them the role-playing tag. Okay, there's questing, delves, dungeons, raids, PvP, and professions. And then you can even tag them with a role. Okay, that's cool.
I'll give them an interest tag.
Organize your friends list.
So now they're part of that category specifically, where maybe Egg, somebody, I don't even know who Egg is, somebody that maybe does a lot of dungeons, but Frostboss, I know for sure does a lot of PvP. But maybe hockey. For some reason, hockey stopped PvPing. I know he's all about role-playing and questing and delves, so you need to combine them into that specific category. You could also apply the roles as well, whether you play DPS, healer, or tank. So now you can organize your friends a little bit better without the need for add-ons. So if you have a Mythic Plus dungeon group, you could put them in one category. You have the people from your raid roster and your friends list, you could put them in another category. You have that guy that you added a while ago and you PvP together and you synergize really well and you really like how well both of you played, but then you can't figure out who it was again from your friends list and you'd like to play again. You can now put him in the PvP category, so now you can whisper him next time and be like, oh hey, you're the guy that I played with before. Do you want to queue some 2s or 3s or possible push for Gladiator this season? This could be a great opportunity
apply
for players
filters to your list, probably,
and manage the friends list a little bit better, which previously you really had to do with add-ons. I'm not a big fan of how massive this piece of UI is. I feel like it takes so much over your screen on the left-hand side, and you can't really maneuver it. You can't disconnect it. I wish you could kind of make it shrink a little. I think that stuff would be really nice, but for the time being, they are updating it, so it's a good step forward. But hopefully, they'll give you even more customization options with the friends list going forward. If you're somebody who's really into professions, Blizzard is doing a profession reset this season. So if you have any specialization that you've committed to for a profession in this expansion, you'll actually be able to get a chance to reset them. It's a one-time reset to be able to reallocate all of those knowledge points. It basically will take all this knowledge that you've had and allow you to repurpose them all over again. So if let's say you started out the season and maybe there was some sort of enchant or a craft item or a reagent that everybody was looking for at the start of the season that made a lot of gold, but now this led into the expansion, the prices for those items have plummeted. But maybe another item now has risen in prices and you're looking to pivot your whole profession setup into something more profitable. This could be an opportunity for you to either reset your professions if you made the mistakes, or to optimize them a little bit better if you made some weird decisions with your points before, or if you're possibly just looking to make more gold with a different setup, with a different endeavor, then you will be able to do so as of the new season.
That's good.
Now, so you
could fix it. I didn't even know that you couldn't fix it for an entire season. That's just pretty crazy to me. So that shit was permanent. Once you locked it in, it was locked in for the rest of the season. Okay. I don't do professions, so I wouldn't even know.
Feature is going to be a new back button within the achievement window.
And react to over and over.
That has a very, very specific use case, but essentially it just allows you to be able to maneuver around your achievement window just a little bit better. A lot of the various different rewards from mounts, transmog, and others are locked behind unique achievements, and some of those achievements are very simple. Complete a single achievement, get the reward. But then there's also others that are feats of strength of sorts and have a variety of different rewards behind them, like some of the expansion feature ones. I mean, just a single achievement for, let's say, one of the better ones, Back from the Beyond, one of the tougher ones, honestly, is there's a bunch of these within part of that roster. So not only do you need to find the actual achievement, then you also need to find another achievement within it. Right. And when you do open it up, sometimes there's going to be even more achievements within that. So when you're trying to find groups of achievements within achievements that are all part of the same group, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to get around and go back to the initial achievement to find it. It's just a lot of clicks. The back button essentially allows you to go back to that group.
And a great ad, honestly.
The bigger group, if you need to find it, just making it that much easier for you to be able to see exactly what part of the achievements everything belongs to and what categories it's all part of. It just makes it a little bit easier to navigate, since achievements are a pretty big part of how players earn a variety of different endgame rewards.
Finally. I know, it's a big one.
But with that being said, as always, I do want to thank all of you guys so much for watching, and hope you guys did enjoy this update. If you did enjoy this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a like, as it would very much appreciate it. Be sure to join our Discord community if you want to keep up with all things Midnight. Link to that is in the description of every single video we post over on the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.
Good. Nice video overall. I mean, some of these changes are actually a pretty big deal. I think the back button's freaking phenomenal. And the cone shit on the floor, like the ability to be able to see shit and know if it's going to move or not, understand where the actual borders of it are, those are all great changes too. All these are pretty good. I would like to see more map coordinate shit. I mean, I'm glad they're doing the coordinates, but I'd like to see more map changes because, man, there's just too much shit on here. Like, I wish there was a way to just filter out, like, I don't know, most recent, or if a new patch goes live, like to filter by patch in terms of like what quests you're currently doing and stuff. That'd be fine. But overall, good changes. Probably a lot of people don't know about these. Now they do. There you go. Nice video overall from Dalaran Gaming.